You could lose your job next. The landscape of the economy is so rocky right now that people find themselves scrounging the internet every night trying to find ways on how to make money online. Now, it's hard enough that those who receive SNAP and EBT benefits, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, renters, and homeowners alike, even entrepreneurs and investors are suffering at this time. But many of those, even those making over $100,000 a year, six-figure income earners, are living paycheck to paycheck. Well, they are now fearing for their households as layoffs are expected to spike even more. Now, it's also apparent that some are even having difficulties accepting these facts as they try to cling on to a lifestyle that they can't even afford. And this is as more and more people are renting out clothes. That's right, guys. Some people are renting the clothes on their backs. But there is a silver lining that comes with all of this, as we may see more discounts coming to a lot of markets. Now, the problem is how to afford all these sales while our cash flow is poor. Are you ready to face the crashes that are coming? For your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the US economy, the stock market, passive income, Social Security, the housing market, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure that your notification bell's turned on. A lot of the information I share with you guys, some of it is actually time sensitive. So make sure you do not miss out on this information. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home and your family are protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below this video. Now, you know the realization of things that are not going your way, and you just finally say to yourself, well, what else could go wrong, right? Well, if we're talking about the economy in multiple markets in the United States, plenty can still go wrong, believe it or not. So let's start off by talking about the job market, particularly jobs related to the auto industry. Carvana, a company that saw huge success in the health crisis, is now inching closer and closer toward bankruptcy. They were killing it before, and now not so much.
There's a look at Carvana shares. Why are they down so much?
Oh my God,
the
David!
latest is a story from Bloomberg saying that Apollo and PIMCO are in a pact to prevent creditors from brawling over a potential bankruptcy here. In other words, these two very large creditors have gotten together, will act together in negotiations with the company. And so by acting together, they may be able to very much get what they want. Now, by the way, this is not Apollo. Remember, last May, you can go back and see where the stock was. Actually, they put in $1.6 billion. They came in to buy almost half of a bond offering then. They accepted a yield of about 10.25%.
I think we got a halt right now, in fact.
And is it a halt on price, or is it a halt on news?
Volatility.
Okay.
Pause.
Yeah. But there is an expectation here that bankruptcy could be coming,
and
obviously
put a lot of money
Apollo. And I reported this a few weeks ago. Apollo was very active in the bond market, buying up the debt of Carvana to try to put itself in an advantageous position in case of a bankruptcy.
And it wasn't that long ago when they were at the top of their game. The stock was just making money for millions of investors day after day. But you know what they say? What goes up must come down. And if you look at the stock market, Carvana's shares have tanked more than 40%. Yeah, have a look at Carvana's stock prices right now. And if we look back even further at Carvana's stock price, it's almost lost 99% of its value. 99%. This is a huge hit, guys. So no, none of us are surprised that they're on bankruptcy watch right now. And if you happen to be one of the estimated 17,000 employees that still work there, it might be best to kind of weigh your options now. Now, I bet that if you were in this particular situation, in this position, you're already looking for a job, and you should be. There's rent to pay, there's mortgages, you've got credit card bills, you've got food, and it's not just with the auto industry. The tech industry has also been doing massive layoffs, and as the housing market continues to crumble, more layoffs will be done there as well. If you guys think that you're safe, you'd be wrong, because all of these markets are going to have a ripple effect that will burn a path through everything that they're involved in. None more than those in real estate and housing, because the housing market alone is going to be destroying so many lives as it's so entrenched into so many different markets. And if you realize just how many jobs will be lost, I mean, think about those who are flipping homes, those in Airbnb. They're going to be crushed when all of this goes down. Some households just couldn't resist getting all these deals, and now they're in big trouble as home buyers. Around 270,000 of them are now owing more on their houses than they're worth. Can you believe that? Not everyone is in this situation though. I know many people who's actually still positive on their purchase of their home in the last couple of years. In fact, their home purchase has increased their net worth. But these were smart buyers. But I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen. Now, this is at a time during when, almost 70% of Americans are struggling to pay for grocery bills. And what's more, 83% are now relying on coupons or loyalty programs just to afford food. Even SNAP and EBT benefits are what many families are applying for now, hoping for increased SNAP and EBT allotments before the end of the month. Now, it doesn't matter where you are. Costco, Target, Walmart, groceries have almost doubled there, and there's no end in sight. Now, think about what happens if these same people suddenly lost their jobs. And to add to that, they have no skill that's of value. Now, if you're not thinking about ways on how you can make money, you may end up suffering with the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people over the next several quarters. Now, we are starting to see what more Americans are building on, and sadly, it's debt. Credit card debt. It's hitting all-time highs at the same time as the US savings rate continues to crash. Swiping is all that some of us can do, as each day everything keeps going up more and more in price. The savings accounts that we used to have, they're also getting wiped clean since the cost of living is slowly but surely becoming out of reach. But this wasn't supposed to happen, right? I mean, they told us that inflation was transitory. That was a lie. And they told us that the economy's strong as hell. And that was also a lie. All this while Americans around the country, they listen to this narrative and they think that the Fed will be able to solve inflation. But we slowly realize that this may not happen according to plan. Or maybe things are happening according to plan, depending upon how you look at it, if you know what I mean. You guys know that one meme from The Simpsons? Yup, that's us. It doesn't take someone with a financial education to tell you that we're in deep waters right now, with our legs starting to give out. It might even give us an entire new meaning to a recession. And we may even prefer that compared to what's coming. Although there is an upside. I know it's incredible that we are seeing an upside, but hear me out. Rent the Runway shares surged as they're seeing consumers borrow designer clothes more than they buy them. Wait a second. This isn't as positive as I thought it would be. Now, I understand that some people rent cars, some people rent houses, but this has stumped me as people are now renting clothing. But what do they use it for? Is it mainly because it's more convenient, or is it another sign of the times where people just can't afford these luxuries anymore? You can't keep renting into the middle class lifestyle. It kind of reminds me of how you don't see everything at a glance. You know what I'm saying? It's like social media where everyone thinks that life is perfect and they post themselves in these clothes, standing in front of these cars, maybe in front of this luxury hotel or restaurant vacation that you just can't quite afford. And then you find out the truth. It's like looking at a used car. It's all shiny, looks brand new, but when you turn the key, it might not even start. That's when you find out everything that's wrong with it. Now, speaking of used cars, opportunities are opening up as poor vehicle demand continues to push down prices. Now, if you're a potential car buyer, this is good news. Although companies, they're suffering because of it. You guys are already aware of what's happening with Carvana, right? Are any of you in the market for a car? A new car or a used car? What are your thoughts on today's video? And what are you doing to keep yourself motivated and hustling? Feel free to share your experiences and ideas in the comment section down below. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what me and my family are doing to create additional forms of income, to generate passive income, side hustles, and increase our income overall as a whole so that we can prepare for the economic collapse, definitely hit me up in the comment section down below. I would love to know if you're interested in me sharing more of this information with you and your family. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to keep updated with everything that matters to you regarding our economy and your bank account, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you want the truth, y'all know where to find it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are all awesome. This is Ron. I wish you all great health and better days to come. I will see you on the next one.